So this is a single-story structure. It's a one-room structure. This is what we're going to start off on. So I want, let's see here, who has taken this class before? Lieutenant Marsden. Could you stack up behind me, please? And be my second man?
Roger.
So we're going to quickly demonstrate the moving concept, but I am point man, and I'm also going to demonstrate the type of communication that I expect from all point men. Alright.
Two set. Oh.
One set. Button hook. Right. Moving.
Move.
So you guys see there that I stated my intention to move. I did not move until given permission by my buddy team or the fire team leader, and immediately upon his order I breached the building. I also gave him in advance the direction of which I'm going, so that he can better plan his route for when he enters the building. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is that the point man can state that he's going to go in one direction. However, he has the option to disregard what he said and go the opposite direction in order to better engage a threat or contact. So it's up to the second and subsequent members of the stack to do the opposite of regardless of what he said initially. So you just got to keep your eyes open and visually know what the guy in front of you is doing. Alright, second concept. Utilizing flashbangs and frags through the door. They're extremely useful tools at breaching or clearing the building before you enter. In a CQC environment, it will mount specifically, you're expected to take statistics show 50% casualties when you're in this sort of environment. So in order to mitigate casualties and reduce those numbers, utilizing tools such as flashbangs to stun or blind the enemy and grenades or frags to clear the room before you enter is advantageous so that you take less casualties. So when you're in a stack, it's important to remember that the point man's job is to cover the door. It would be the second guy in the stack to remove himself slightly and toss the frag by saying frag out, or flash by saying flash out through the door frame. Now, what's taught in O-Suit is upon the detonation of the flash or frag grenade, you enter the building. That is something that we're going to get away from in 1.3. It's something that it's gotten me in trouble from experience. So how we're going to breach is the flash goes through the door, point man says moving, and the second guy in the stack gives him orders to move. So even if the flash goes off, he doesn't move until he gets that move order. What that does is it prevents him from entering the room by himself. The second guy in the stack may not be prepared. He may be reloading his weapon, etc. So it's important to remember that you don't move until the second guy or the fire team leader gives you permission to move. Once you enter the room, you got to continue with the communication. So we need, as you're clearing your sector, you need to say right clear if the right sector is clear, left clear if the left sector is clear, and then if the room is clear, you need to pass it up to your team leader, or the team leader needs to pass it up to the squad leader and say room clear. And once the room is clear, you either advance further into the building, repeating the same exercise through each subsequent room. And if the building is entirely clear, you need to relay that to the team leader, and it is your responsibility, team leaders, to relay that to myself as the squad leader so that I can relay it to platoon HQ when we're clearing a larger objective. It's all about fluid communication and passing that information as quickly as possible up the chain so that they can gain their awareness of the situation and better direct what's going on the battlefield. So, you clear the room, right's clear, left's clear, room clear, building clear, 2 coming out. This is the communication that I expect today. And for today, that's really what I want to focus on. We're not going to get into more complicated breaching techniques, which would be a dynamic entry or demolition breach or dynamic clearing or anything like that. So we're really just going to focus on the basics today, and we're going to go through series of exercises starting now, and we're just going to evaluate and correct ourselves of deficiencies that we observe. Does anyone have any questions up to this point? Go ahead, Private Nalist.
I don't know if this is by squad leader or if this is an SOP, but is all this communication done on the radio or just by voice?
Now, that's a great question. I will leave it up to the fire team leader's discretion. Really, if it's a local clear, by saying right clear, left clear, you do that by voice if you want, if you guys are within normal voice proximity. If it's a room clear or building clear, 2 coming out, etc., that needs to be passed up on the radio so that um, you know I me personally, I can't hear very well with in the heat of battle. It's hard for me to hear if it's not being communicated over radio. So I would prefer to do most of, if not all, communication over the radio.
All right, thank you, Sergeant.
But I think to answer your question, it would be by squad, and it really is a preference thing of what maybe the platoon or squad leader wants. All right, so I want to go ahead and run through one fire team at a time with this dry run exercise. We're going to correct deficiencies, and then we're going to move into some live fire exercises.
Charlie. All right, Bravo, stack on the wall. Prepare for breach.
Alpha, back up. Sergeant Storm, Sergeant Otto's gonna need a TP.
Click on point.
All right.
They affirmed your point, Graves.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Moving.
Move.
Moving right.
Left.
Clear.
Left's clear.
Clear.
Room's clear.
Yeah, like that's what I want you to do. I want you to
Building's
just
clear.
favor your security with the
3
AR.
coming out.
3 coming out.
So you just kind of sit back towards the door, looking out.
Stand by for teleport.
Drake, we're doing a full team or just a 2-man?
I'll
Totally
address
different.
that in a minute. So a couple of things that I observed right off the bat. First off, I want to do a 4-man breach, so the whole fire team needs to be entering the building together. We are making an assumption that we have proper security outside, either through an adjacent fire team or squad. So we're going to assume that proper security is outside the building, and we're going to strictly focus on clearing the inside. So that's the first observation. I want all members through the door frame. And the second is stance. So that's something I didn't go over, but it's something that we observed. When you're in the breaching, when you're on the stack, I want everyone to be in a standing formation, guns up, combat pace. It should look like this. I would also recommend fully automatic versus your semi-automatic weapon selector in order to take advantageous of being able to spray an enemy if you need to. So, you guys understand? That way everyone, when you guys are breaching, no one's in an improper stance and throwing off the pacing of the stack. So, Bravo, go ahead. Oh, we got some questions. So, Sergeant Drake, go ahead.
Yeah, and certain scenario, a standing.
Go on yelling.
Yeah, hold on. In a certain scenario, a standing stance isn't viable. Just because a lot of buildings have windows, and you can't really expose yourself to those windows when preparing to breach. So, if you're coming up to a window, you need to crouch.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. If you're able to look in the window and cover the window, that would be also equally advantageous. That way you can try to clear the building, um, at least be able to do like a quick pie to clear your sector and try to get more information on what is going on the interior of the structure. The more information that you have, the better you can react once you breach. So that's an excellent point. You know, Windows make it difficult. I think that is a valid excuse, but for this purpose, let's, you know, if we can help it, we need to be in the combat pace, weapons up stance. So Bravo, go ahead and repeat that, and let's do it again. We'll get
We're not
Alpha
doing
on
a
there
fast round
shortly.
for us, right?
Bravo stack.
4 set.
Prepare for breach.
4 set.
I'm aware of that 3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Moving button hook right.
Move. Less clear.
Clear. Building's clear. 4 coming
Okay.
out.
4
out.
coming out.
Excellent. Excellent job. All right, Alpha, go ahead and we'll see what you guys can do.
Stack row would be Swift, then Marsden, then MD, then. From rear to front, count off.
Send Stasso and Auto back so we can get some gear.
Black.
Oh yeah.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
3 set.
1 set. Breaching going right. Moving.
Move.
Right's clear.
Left's clear.
Building clear. Building clear, 4 coming out. Everybody out.
4 coming out.
I was in the middle of teleporting Staff Sergeant. Lieutenant Richardson, did you see anything that needs to be improved upon?
It was a good overall breach. Just make sure the second man, that you're right on the ass of the first man, because you're going to be watching his dead zone over there. As soon as he enters that door, you need to be entering that door with him. A second delay means he gets on that doorway getting a bullet in his ass. Be right on his ass, that's all.
Private MD, go ahead.
Is there a particular reason we're bringing the AR into a small room? Is it for the sake of the exercise, or do you want that to be SOP?
I want that to be
So
SOP. Typically how we are going to operate as a squad is no fire team should ever be outside of supporting range of each other. So Alpha and Bravo need to be within close proximity to be able to support one another. Therefore, essentially when you're clearing buildings, you will have Bravo providing external security as you clear that building. Or we will have an adjacent squad, a 10-man squad, providing that external security. Therefore, we need to get as many bodies through that door as possible. The more guns that we can get into that room, the better we can take out the contact and eliminate the threat. So for squad SOP, I do want 4-man breaches as our base unit.
Also, at the individual level, we want to always reinforce our buddy team. So if you got 3 people going in, that means 1 person is without his buddy, all alone outside. So if you're going to go in with 2s or go in with the entire fire team.
Exactly, and it's up to the fire team leader's discretion and the squad leader's discretion of how many people need to be entering a building. For a building like this is a perfect sized building for a fire team breach. We will be working on some larger buildings later that will require full squad breach, where we would need an adjacent element, an adjacent squad to support us. Alright, so I want to go through 2 more dry run exercises, but I want to introduce flashbangs. So Alpha, I want you guys to take lead on this iteration, and I want you guys to throw flashbang through the door and clear the room. So everyone else, let's try to get at an angle where, you know what? Let's have Alpha clear this building to the left on the northwest, and we can all stand from here while you guys throw the flashbang.
Same stack order.
Same stack order. Bunch up.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set.
I'm gonna flash.
Breaching,
Uh,
breaching going right. Flash out. Actually, wait, no, you say that. 2-man.
Yep, the second man should be throwing the flash.
flash out.
Moving.
Move. Left's clear.
Right's clear.
Building secure. Building secure. 4 coming out.
4 friendlies coming out.
Alright, excellent job, you guys. I saw that from inside, and everyone was covering the proper sector. That was a excellent breach. The only comment is when throwing a flash or a throwing object such as a grenade, get that move in there as soon as possible so that when that flash goes off, you're getting as many bodies in as possible. So try to eliminate that delay, that 1 second delay where, you know, flashbang, bang, moving, move. The guy can state his request to move by saying moving before the flashbang is detonated. And then the second guy automatically says move as soon as he hears that bang go off. That way you can take advantage of that stun effect as best as possible. So Alpha, go ahead and repeat that and try to get that flash time to where you guys are in through the doorway as soon as that flash is out.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Breaching going right.
Roger, throwing a flash. Flash out.
Moving.
Move.
Right's clear.
Building secure. Building secure. 4 coming out.
Fuck yeah. That was excellent. Alright, Bravo, you're up.
Alright, Bravo, stack up, third breach.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set, moving, button hook right.
Flash out. Move.
Clear.
That's clear.
Clear.
Building's clear.
4 coming out.
Did you guys, I missed it, I couldn't hear it very well. Did you guys get your proper move in?
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Firm.
So I won't, go ahead, Private Rigger.
Yeah, if I may. Black. Well, no. So who was it that flashed?
No.
You came out a little far. You came to around
Yeah.
here. You
I
you
felt
opened yourself
something.
up to a danger zone. So as little, out as you can. Bounced off the door or something. You should be fine.
Firm.
Yeah, let's,
Yeah, so
Bravo,
it's
let's go ahead
buttons.
and do it again, and I'm gonna film from inside the building.
Bravo, stack up, third breach.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set, moving, button hook right.
Flash out. Move.
Right clear.
That's clear.
Clear.
Okay.
Building clear.
4 coming
4
out.
coming out.
Alright. Excellent job. Alright, so what I think we're good for starting a live fire exercise on these 2 buildings. Alright, building is hot. You guys are clear.
Bravo, move to stack. Stack on building for third breach.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
One set. Moving right. Button hook.
Okay. Flash out. Bad
Okay.
flash.
Bad flash.
Bad flash. Bad
That's
flash.
fine.
Rigger's good.
That's fine. Keep going.
Graves is blind.
Wait till you guys are good to go before you enter the building.
Oh, alright. Alright,
You
let's
good,
try that
Graves?
again. Yeah.
Four set.
Alright.
3 set.
3 set.
2 set.
One set. Moving. Breaching. Button hook right.
Flash out.
Clear.
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 Building's clear.
4 coming out.
4 coming out.
Alright. Go ahead and form up and then we'll get alpha on it. So a couple of things, you know, you had a bad flash, but no one entered the building by themselves because the move order wasn't given. And you guys were able to save your lives. Did anyone take any injuries from that?
No, sir.
No, let's right now. That's
Negative.
fine.
Yeah, bandaging left arm from the flash.
Oh, actually, I guess I probably should check.
Yeah, check yourself. Those flashes will
Oh,
damage you.
yeah. Left arm. Crap.
That's
Private Rigger, go ahead.
Yeah, by the time I got in the room, I don't know who it was, but somebody was taking up a firing lane in the middle of the room. Just make sure when you go in, you hug your wall. If you see contacts, hug your wall and move along it while you're firing. And can make sure you're moving, otherwise you are closing off firing lanes and or getting yourself killed by friendly fire.
Building's hot. You guys are clear.
Approach the door.
Approaching door.
Prepare to breach. From rear to
Four
front,
set.
count off. 3 set.
2 set.
One set. Breaching. Hooking right. Moving.
Flash it out.
Попали под обстрел.
This contact's still live.
Building secure.
Alright.
Friendly's coming out.
Alright, so that contact that you guys saw in there was still alive. He was blinded by the flash. It was a perfect flash. And I just witnessed that enemy took quite a while to recover. That was a full blind on his part. Just make sure that if you see someone that's still up like that, you need to make sure that contact is down. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
I didn't even know that the flashes work like that. I thought he was ragdolling, so I thought he was dead. So I learned.
I didn't know that either. That was a lessons learned. So I filmed that for when we reviewed the video. We'll be able to see what we just saw. Private Rigger, go ahead.
Yeah, from our previous experimenting with the flashbangs we use now, the response from the enemy is going to be typical to what ours is. Like when we had a bad flash, my ears were ringing. I could see because I turned away, and same with the enemy. If they are not looking at the flash, they will have a slower reaction time, but they will still be able to engage you. If they see the flash, they are FUBAR, and they will be ineffective until it wears off.
Alright, good to know. I'd like to rotate myself and my medic in on this. Staff Sergeant Otto and Lieutenant Richardson, would you like to participate as well?
Sure.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Gotcha.
Staff Sergeant, yes.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Alright, Private Black, go ahead.
Just a comment real fast. We had actually a problem with the doorway with people getting stuck in there while we're engaging and friendly fire happening. Make sure you guys keep it flooding.
Yeah, I saw that as well. It looked like there was some blockage going in on the door. You got a couple of bodies in. The third and fourth men were a little bit delayed. So we'll continue to work on that.
the way in.
Yeah, that happens. You can get caught on the walls, so.
Yeah, and it did the
It
whole
just.
falling animation.
Alright, building's hot. Ratliff, I'm on your 6.
Alright.
Moving up. It's ready from the rear.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set.
Roger.
Preaching going right. Moving.
Roger. Throwing a flash. Flash out. Move.
Building clear.
Roger. Building's clear. 4 coming out. So you guys saw there, Ratliff chose to say moving before the flash was initiated. I threw the flash and then said move. There was a delay between moving and move, but there was no delay between the flashbang and the move. All right, I think that that's good for these one-room buildings. So we're gonna amp it up with the live fire exercise of a larger building. Stand by. I'm gonna see what we got working with us. Yeah, kicking it up a notch. Read. Steph Sarnato, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question about the way that you have developed your SOP to do this. I wasn't here for when you were going over your document, but who opens the door in the stack?
Well, that's a good question. That was a question that was brought up yesterday during 2-2's CQC training. I don't know if we actually addressed that question. Sergeant Swift, what is your SOP on that first, and then do you guys have an SOP, or Lieutenant Marsden?
To my knowledge, we don't really have an SOP as to who opens the door.
In my opinion, I would prefer to have the first man in the stack, for ARMA purposes, open the door, because he's able to scroll wheel based on his location quite easily. When I know that military doctrine will suggest that the last man in the stack open the door and breach the door for the team and then be the last man to enter. I think that's also an option, but I think you can run into problems with ARMA, and the fluidity can kind of break down a little bit. So, Staff Sergeant Otto, or Lieutenant Richardson, do you guys have an opinion on that matter of who opens the door?
I don't have an opinion. I think it's easier for the first man.
Alright, we got a multi-story to our north here. Multiple rooms. Multiple stories. I want a fire team to clear it first, and then we'll see if we can do a squad clear. I know it's a little bit small, but it would be okay for our training purposes. So I want to go ahead and move into a live fire exercise right away.
Got a lot of windows.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and follow me. We're going to go to a place of cover. So for the observers, let's stand in this area. We got some closed windows. And let's go ahead and breach from the back, utilizing this door. Alright. I'm going to populate the building with contacts, so stand by. It's going to take a minute.
Sergeant Swift and Marsden, Lieutenant Marsden, I want you guys to swap next time. Stack order.
Roger.
One set, breaching or moving, breaching right.
Flash up.
Солдат.
Man down.
Keep pushing. Set.
Третий. Убит.
Graves back up.
That's stairs. Got security on stairs.
We need a medic inside.
Okay, moving.
Черт побери. Первый. Убит.
Keep moving.
Четвертый. Командует.
There's
This is Bravo 2 IC. I've got 3 men injured inside. Need support.
Roger that.
Spartan 1-3 Mike.
Alpha, go ahead and provide security inside the building for Bravo.
50 метры. Прием.
Alpha, let's go.
Вижу цель. Солдаты.
First,
Направление 50
go through the
метры.
stack order, but don't worry
Прием.
about stacking.
Yeah, copy that.
Bravo's, Alpha's en route.
Stand by for frag.
Some of your
Or,
eyes on the stairway.
Flash out. Bad flash.
Moving
Look
upstairs. Black, watch the exit.
Moving right.
Me and slipped upstairs.
Moving
Ralph,
right.
do what you can to pull these contacts away from the stairs. Alright. Building's fully cleared. Let's go ahead and deal with these casualties and we'll assess what went wrong.
Grab rigger.
So a couple of things that I observed.
Take him downstairs.
The initial breach was good. You guys set up from the rear and you guys breached that first room. When you guys got to the wall of the second room, that moving move broke down and an individual crossed the threshold of the doorway, immediately taking fire and going down. What we need to remember is the moving move is a standing order through all rooms of a building, not just the initial breach. So for every single room that we clear, we need to be utilizing moving move, and that we should prevent ourselves from pieing the doorway individually. And that brings me to the second point. So pieing is a individual CQC technique. It should be done on an individual basis. What I have learned is that pieing is useful for clearing like a small shack or a small corridor, but if you're breaching a large building like this, we should get away from pieing. You guys are already committing to a full breach. Therefore, you guys, stack integrity is important, and get away from utilizing pieing. Pieing only allows for the individual to shoot at you on an individual basis, picking you guys off one at a time. Stack allows for 4 bodies in the room in a very fast-paced manner, and you get more guns in the room in a stack than you would with an individual trying to get recon through pieing. So for 1-3 purposes, I would strongly stay away from pieing the doorway and always utilizing the stack. When you're in a stack, you've already committed to the building, you're already committing to clearing. Don't pie. So the first mistake or the first lessons learned that we need to identify is utilize moving throughout the door. So let's go ahead and get Bravo back on the wall, and then we're going to walk through this. So the initial breach was good, and you guys got to this point. What you guys need to do is reform, reorganize, and then proceed to do the moving move into the second building. Go ahead, Private Rigger.
Yeah, we didn't really cover it in the class time, but make sure I'm yelling. Yeah, when you're doing a large breach like this, whenever you come up on a danger area, so a doorway, for instance, the first man to get there stops and calls it out, and so the advance or the breach or whatever halts there, and Graves being the first one to the door, he says, door on the right, or door on the left, excuse me, and he holds security at it.
Yeah.
And then once the whole room's clear, then you, like the sergeant says, you stack up for security. The same as when we did the second breach, the danger zone are the windows, of course, but also the stairs. While clearing the room, somebody has to hold security on those stairs in case a enemy decides to come down or just peek around a corner and kill everybody. So push until you get to a danger zone, basically.
I understand. We are doing a body team, dynamic movement body team, but we're also not supposed to Going to a room alone. So in my case, Graves was down immediately. So do I keep pushing into the room because that's what I was
Hey, Firm, you have permission to push into the room. That's up to Sergeant Drake to be on your 6. Says, Nellis, we're going to continue clearing the building. I'm on your 6. That way, when you call out specific names, Nellis, you know that you have someone behind you, as opposed to Sergeant Drake saying, "I'm on your 6." He could be talking to Rigger on across the hallway on another door or another room, and you may say, "Okay, moving," and then he says, "Move," when he's really referring to Rigger, and you end up entering a room by yourself. So it's important to start calling out names once you enter in the building. So that's something that I didn't touch, but we're learning as we go. So let's go ahead and do a dry run here real quick. I'll go ahead and start on the back side of the stack. I'm going to be inside observing.
You guys, just a heads up, on a dynamic clear, buddy teams.
Alpha, you guys are cleared to enter the building to observe.
Go ahead, Trigger.
Just a heads up, buddy teams will potentially break down in a dynamic clear. Doesn't matter who's behind you. Somebody says Nellis or Drake or Graves, I'm on your 6.
Alright, Bravo, I want you to continue clearing through the entire building utilizing this language.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Moving, breaching right.
Don't flash. There's friendlies in there.
Yeah, Fenko flash out, move.
Door left.
Stack up.
Set.
Set.
Set. On your 6, Graves.
Moving left.
Move.
Stairs.
Left's clear. That's clear.
Roger that. Keep going. Stairway front. Keep talking, Graves. Keep talking.
Alright. Stairways. Door up.
On you.
Alright.
On your 6, Drake.
Alright. Moving right.
Move.
Danger zone on the left, on security.
Alright.
Nellis on me.
On your 6, Trigger.
Moving left.
Move.
Left clear.
Right clear.
Floor clear.
Alright.
Running clear.
Alright, reconvene at the outside the building. Friendly's coming out.
Friendly's coming out.
4 coming out. 4 coming out.
Alright, so Bravo, you guys did an excellent job at taking the initiative of who's clearing what. I saw that when you guys were at the top of the stairs, you had a 2-man clear on that right side, while the other 2 held external security for the rest of the upstairs floor. You could have also held security on that door and have 2 members clear the upstairs before you entered that building. I think that would have been equally acceptable.
We basically moved to the top of the stairs and stood on the stairs before we moved. Is that acceptable, or are we supposed to just get off the stairs? Because from what I understand, speed is vital, and staying on the stairs just kind of leaves us all trapped in
Right.
narrow passage.
That's a good point. Stairs really can trap you up pretty bad, especially if you start taking casualties, and we saw that earlier. It's up to you guys to try to maneuver through the building in a timely manner, but you shouldn't rush yourself to where you guys are taking unnecessary risk. Make sure that you take your time, make sure you're going through the right motions, and assess the situation. So I think at that point it's really discretionary. I don't have a clear-cut answer unless Platoon HQ here has additional comment on stairs. But it's situational, and don't rush just because you're in a disadvantageous situation being stuck on a stair. Private Rigger?
Yeah, a lot of the stairs that we're faced with, like the one in this building, they've got multiple danger zones once you start to go up. It's very important that second man, third man, fourth man, basically everybody except the first man is not looking forward as they go up the stairs. So if I'm man 1 and I'm going up the stairs like this, I'm looking forward because that's my responsibility. Depending on the stairs, there may be a danger zone directly above and behind the first man. There could be a danger zone to the left or the right. So if I'm the first man up, I'm going up like this. Man 2 needs to be doing what Nellis is doing here, looking up and over my shoulder, because the first time we went up there, we had a man downed on the stairs because, we're coming up the stairs like this. there's a guy over here schwacking the stairs.
Yep.
And so, I mean, in that scenario, you're pretty much going to lose the first man, but man 2 should be able to down him before anybody else gets taken out.
Yeah, excellent point. All right, Alpha, I want you guys to do a dry run utilizing the same techniques, and then I want to get Private Ratliff also involved in the training as well.
Affirm.
So go ahead and clear the whole building. This is a dry run. Say again?
I was just calling out our stack order.
Oh, okay.
I'm rotating it.
Do you want Bravo inside?
Yeah, Bravo can observe inside. It's dry run.
They can bang us. We can be enemies, and they can just say bang.
It's gonna be Black, so it's a dry run, then MD, then Marston, then Swift.
Roger.
I'm gonna be a bad guy.
One set, breaching left.
4 set.
2 seconds
set.
left. We'll wait for them to give me the
Moving.
go ahead. Move.
Door.
Clear left. Move.
I'm on your 6. Whoa, what?
Staircase.
Roger.
Marston, Swift, watch the first floor.
Cover that.
Moving.
Move.
Danger area left.
Window to there. That's actually a pretty bad place to do it too clear.
So you entered the room by yourself. Keep going.
Danger area left. Where'd the team lead go?
I have no clue where team leads it.
Roger. We'll clear this then on the right then.
Alright, let's move. Moving.
Move. Left's clear.
Right, clear.
I'm clear. 2 coming out. Still danger area front. We're stuck on the wall. I'm gonna hug the wall, going left. Moving.
Move.
Alright.
Left's clear.
Right, clear.
Second floor's clear. 2 coming down.
Alright, so what I saw was okay. Black, a couple times I think I saw you enter the room or at least show your body through a door frame before your adjacent members were ready. There seemed to be some confusion on the initial, this initial room right here, going in, going left. It looked like the stack was somewhat out of order, and that just needs to be clarified from your team leader. Go ahead, Lieutenant Morrison.
There was a couple times where people just were guys were just walking into rooms and there was no move order. That broke down, and it really broke down the communication because people were just flooding into rooms left and right, and guys were getting left behind.
Yeah.
The move broke down is what I'm trying to say.
Alright. It's 2 other comments. Who was before MD?
Black.
Black, go ahead.
First thing, when we first breached the first building, I went to the call door, and then MD called on Direk to move. So we moved in, but I was on a radio, so Alpha team was not aware that we were moving to the next room already. And the second part is when we moved to the second story, there was a door straight to the right. I poked through just because of stupid geometry, but at this point we actually be fucked up, I think, with the 2-man team. To be able to clear I don't think it's possible to clear that old second story with a 2-man team.
Agreed.
From rear to front, count off.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Breaching going right. Moving.
Flash out. Move.
Door on left.
Made a call for moving.
Move. Moving.
Move.
Bottom floor clear.
Staircase.
Okay, behind you.
Moving.
Move.
Door right side. Moving.
On your 6. Move. Going left.
Swift, watch the staircase.
Copy that.
Some
Room
other
clear.
around me.
I'm clear.
2 coming out.
Building secure. With Alpha team moving first floor.
This is negative. You still have this area up here to the east.
We got one
Still
more area.
nook.
Set on you,
Alright,
right
breaching
left.
going left. Or moving going left.
Move.
Clear.
Now building secure.
Alright, Bravo, go ahead and hop up here. Alright, so I thought everything was really good. You guys are on the stairs. Team 2 enters the room to the right. Go ahead and get up here, Bravo. Alright, so Alpha is sitting here on a stack, a 4-man stack on the stairway. In this situation, Team 2 proceeded to move into the room to the right. Both members entered the room, cleared the room. At that point, it would have been advantageous for Team 1 to say, alright, we're advancing to this corridor and do a dynamic clearing. Two buddy teams can be maneuvering at once within a building if you have these small little nooks and these little smaller rooms to clear. It's advantageous and it's a faster paced clear if you got both teams maneuvering and clearing both sides of the floor. That way we can kind of speed up our clearing time. It's just a suggestion. Again, it's up to the fire team leader if he doesn't feel comfortable to advance into the building further because he thinks there might be a greater threat around that corner and he wants to reconvene with a 4-man stack. That's fine. But at this point, I would recommend breaking off into a 2-man stack or a 2-man breach here and a 2-man breach here, and that way you guys can clear the floor together and eliminate threats simultaneously. Alright, building is hot. Building's hot. You guys are clear.
Breaching going right. Moving.
4 set.
3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Okay,
Prepare for flash.
now.
Flashing.
Okay.
Flash out. Move.
Moving. That door on left. Door on the left. Set.
2 set.
Damn it.
What?
Moving. Left.
Move.
He's up.
House is done.
Get those bodies through the door.
Smoke.
Push it into the room.
Staircase.
Alright.
Don't worry about smoke.
Hold on staircase. I want to flash upstairs.
No flash on me.
I got flash.
Got your security.
Black, get behind me. I'm gonna throw the flash. Hold on. I have to like trick shot this. Hold on. Oh. Swift, you're gonna have to throw it.
Okay.
Flash out.
Bad flash. Can't see.
Cool, hold on. Everyone hold.
Holding.
I can see.
Your right arm's bleeding bad. Let me take point. Preparing second flash. Hold on. Second flash out. Bad flash.
It's too bad flashes proceed without a flash once you guys are able.
Everyone good?
Swift's good.
Turn
That's
off.
good.
Let's move. Good to go.
Ratliff, stand up. There you go.
Have a door on the right. Someone watch left. 1 and 2 man. We're
Got
gonna go
left.
through this door. Going right. Moving.
Move.
Going left. Moving.
Go right. Move.
Clear.
Building secure.
Alright. Go ahead, Bravo. Come out and we'll provide medical attention.
Alpha.
Alright. Bravo, I know you guys can hear me. Good job. You guys took one casualty. With CQC, like I said, you're expected to, or not expected, but statistics show that 50% casualties is about what we were expected. So you guys only took 25% casualties. I would still call that a success.
Got your torso. Sorry.
You know, you guys got injured, but you managed to clear the building on a fire team size.
Got your arm.
I'm good.
That first contact in that nook, way to identify it. You guys need to be calling out your contacts as you proceed through the building. That stairway is tricky to throw a flash. You know, again, fire team leader discretion. Try to get that flash out, but if you got a couple of bad flashes, do what you can to proceed. Don't continue to flash yourself. Sergeant Swift, you got a comment?
Yeah. I noticed with those stairs in particular, a lot of times
I need morphine.
throw a bad flash. So personally, I would avoid it, and
Push morphine.
also I'd avoid throwing flashes, trying to get them up through holes for like ladders and that sort of thing. In other buildings, they won't go through. They seem to not go through. So just keep that in mind.
I think that's good advice. I would probably avoid throwing a flash in that situation, at least until you get to the top of the stairs where you can try to angle it to the best of your ability. The moving move was good. We just need to say contact left, contact right. Remember that your 3Ds, still apply. Bearing may not be an exact bearing may not be necessary, but contact left, contact right certainly is. 2 contacts behind this wall throwing a flash. Try to call out those sorts of movements. Definitely. Let me see. Something else I wanted to go over. Oh, fire team leader, if you can, let me know if that first floor is clear on squad net, and then proceed to second floor. Say second floor clear, building clear for coming out. I'd like to, as a squad leader, know the progress of where you're at within the building. If you take casualties, that needs to be called up immediately to the medic. Mike, we took a casualty, need you on our pause as soon as possible. Go ahead, MD.
Who was our casualty? Because no one.
That was me.
Ratliff.
Oh.
Ratliff, yeah. Alright, overall, I mean, you guys took a casualty. You hope for perfection, but sometimes you end up with a wound you're able to do. Go ahead, Ratliff.
In a regular setting, like if I'm outside and someone is injured inside, am I just going in, or do I wait for them to clear the bottom floor, or how does that work?
I think that's situational. If it's a really bad situation, we're going to probably send another fire team in to clear the remainder of the building. Let's say most of Alpha is down, we're going to send Bravo in for reinforcements. But if Alpha just took one casualty and they're still maintaining good security within the building, then yes, you should get in there, pull the casualty to better cover and start treating on them so that we can maintain our pacing.
Okay, got it.
So, Bravo, let's go ahead and move over to the right. I'm going to populate this for you guys. Bravo, you guys are cleared hot.
4 set.
It's clear, Bravo. 3 set.
2 set.
1 set. Moving in, going right. Moving.
2 graves.
He said not to flash.
Yeah, you gotta say
No,
move.
Move or move
Oh,
order.
move.
Moving. Door left.
Stack up.
Set.
Moving and
flash.
going right.
Also behind
Moving
you.
going left. Moving going left.
Go.
Get those bodies in there.
I got stuck.
Bravo, call that up.
Bravo, we got a man down. Star 1-3 Mike moving in.
Bravo, this is 1-3. Do you have proper security over?
First floor secure, second floor
Wait one, Bravo's gonna push up and clear the second building, or second story.
Roger, first floor is clear. Mike, go ahead and treat casualty out.
Door on the right, hallway on the left.
Prep
Moving.
flash.
Flash.
Affirm.
Flash. Oh, that was a grenade. Bad frag.
Fuck. Fine.
You guys up?
This is Bravo 2. I see my team is down. I need Alpha to come in.
Alpha, we need reinforcements.
Alpha, be advised. I'm holding security on the second floor stairs. Move my position over.
Let's go. Blackie in the
This is
rear.
1-3 Mike, I'll be there in 1 sec.
Negative, Mike. Remain on the first floor. Second floor is hot. Over.
Lieutenant, we're on squad net, by the way, if you want to listen in.
Alpha, first floor is clear. Come to the stairs. Up the stairs. Get on me. Over. Alpha's moving to the stairs.
We've got confirmed contacts in this room to the right. Danger zone to the left. I'm moving in. I'm moving right.
Moving left. Move.
Okay, you're gonna come up here in a second.
Oh, he's
Stay still, stay still.
Contacts down.
Second floor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, we got multiple contacts. Lieutenant, could you assist me in treating? Lieutenants?
This is 1-3 Mike, anybody
Yeah, Mike, right here.
go to this second floor?
Friendly's on the first floor.
Alpha Bravo, interrogative, what's the status of this building?
Friendly's coming up.
This is Bravo 2. I see. Be advised. Drake is up, treating himself. We still have Graves down on the second floor.
Roger, friendly coming in.
Bandaging head.
Got his right arm. Let me know that the building's clear once it's clear.
Pushing morphine.
Bandaging your left arm.
I spatted his head.
Okay, stay still, buddy.
Starting CPR. Drake, when you get a chance, can you push morphine and epi?
Okay, pushing more morphine.
I pushed morphine, pushing epi.
Okay, you should
Copy
get
that. Alright, he's up.
You push morphine on the switch.
Mike, be advised. Graves is up. Drake is up. Second floor is good.
Put like 5 bullets in that fucker and he didn't go down.
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
man.
was he?
Black first floor. Move there.
Alright, so excellent job, Rigger. Calling down to Alpha and myself that you need assistance and that your team is down. Just maintain that communication, saying first floor is clear. I'm on second floor holding security. Need your assistance soon, ASAP. I think you did that. We took heavy casualties. I think that in this situation, additional flashbangs would have been beneficial. If you know that the building is hot, don't hesitate to use frags either. So, we don't have to continue to utilize flash. If you guys run out of flash and you only have frags, utilize frags. Don't utilize frags on stairs. Alright, you guys want to step it up a notch?
Yar.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Oh, hold on. Yeah!
There we go. Fuck yeah.
Give me a schoolhouse, Sergeant.
Alright. I'm going to give you an option. We can either do a barracks building or a construction building.
Let's do construction.
Alright.
That way we can observe from a safe distance.
Alright, stand by. Gotta find my construction building. Alright, we're gonna do this as a squad. This is a large building. Stand by for teleport. Alright. We're gonna do this guy as a squad. We're going to try something. This will be the last exercise. We're going to work together as a squad to clear this building. It's fire team leaders need to be in constant communication, and we need to go back to the basics and remember that we never advance unless the other team can support or is within supporting distance. I don't want to see one fire team on one side of the building and the other fire team on the second floor on the complete opposite side of the building. That's not going to cut it for us today. So we're going to go through this, one dry run, and then we'll do a live fire, and we'll call it a day. This brings me to one of the last points, and it's just something to keep in mind. So we have the buddy team set up as 1-2 is a buddy team, and 3-4 in the stack is a buddy team. Let's go ahead and get in. Let's go ahead and get Bravo. Go ahead and stack up. Any order, it doesn't matter. All right. So we see that Nellis and Rigger are a buddy team, Graves and Drake are a buddy team. Go ahead and just walk through the motions of clearing this building and see what happens.
Alright, going and going right.
Move.
Alright.
Moving right.
Alright, stop. Stop. Everyone come in here. Does everyone notice that the buddy teams have now reversed positions? Since each man went in on an alternating movement, the team leader, where's my team leader? There you go, Drake. Well, you were with a different buddy before, but that's fine. You're now with a different buddy member, and same with Graves and Nellis. At this point, the team's just got to remember that the buddy teams needs to be dynamic when you're clearing a building. You're going to be put in situations like this where you're going to be with a new member of your team, and it's not going to necessarily be your official buddy. That's okay. This is where the communication comes in, where it's this Drake's on your 6, Rigger, Roger, and you continue with your buddy team movements to locally clear this room. That way, you don't have to be like, oh shit, I'm no longer with my buddy, he's on the other side of the room. Hold, everyone hold, let's go ahead and reform. You know, we
You sure that, Sergeant?
Alright, sorry about that. We can get away from that and dynamically change buddies. Now, once this room is clear, the team leader could say, alright, reform and restack and get back into the proper buddies. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and dry run this shit. Alright, go ahead and tighten up this stack. Now, at this point, we got a 10-man stack. We don't need to call 10-man, 9 set, 8 set, none of that. It's just Bravo set, Alpha set. And Alpha initiates the movement.
Alpha set. Bravo set. Alpha moving.
Moving.
Move.
Stairway on right.
Door.
Opening on right.
Stairway right.
Long hallway.
Bravo, get in the door.
Hallway.
Now it's moving.
With you, Marcus.
Push this doorway on the
Roger.
right.
Alright, I'm gonna pie this.
I got stairs.
Clear. Got a corner left. Stacking a corner.
26 Nellis.
I'm gonna push around to the far side of the
Push
room
down
and
that
I'll be on the right
wall. Moving.
side. Moving.
Mike on me.
Going right.
That's clear. Got a doorway. I'm holding. There's
Everybody
friendlies
on
in that room. Friendlies in that room.
Moving in. Taking a right.
On you, Marson.
Bravo's pushed back.
Going left. Left's clear.
Got a door to the right.
Marson, keep pushing down.
Roger.
Alpha Bravo, Tark.
Gonna push.
Alpha securing the right side of the building, first floor.
Move.
Bravo's moving in position Alpha.
Got a doorway left. Holding at the door.
Push in.
Going right.
Push
Gonna
down
do a
there.
cross.
Going left. Left's clear.
Roger, I'm gonna cross on the right.
Move.
Moving.
Move.
Right's clear.
Got a door on the right.
Going
Right.
I'm running into technicals. Take over.
Alpha secured the left side of the first
Alright, I
building.
got a doorway
LT,
on the
hold.
hallway on the left.
Hold security here. Roger, we got friendlies on the eastern side. We're holding security locally, over.
West
I'm
side is
gonna
secured.
hold security down the hallway to the
Alright,
left so you
Bravo.
guys can clear the
Roger, I got this corridor.
right there.
Perfect job, Ratliff, holding rear security.
Friendly's
Yeah.
coming in.
All
Roger.
You guys clear that room.
Do I have somebody on me?
Alright, Alpha Bravo, form up. We're going to continue
Two
advancing to the northwest corner.
Right. Moving.
I'm holding security so I can clear that room.
Alpha, continue movement on your sector. Over.
Alright, I'll be Bravo.
Room
When they
secure.
come out. Swift,
Marston,
when they
watch
come
your line
out.
of fire.
Hey, you have 2 people in here? Alright.
Hold down.
I was about to lose my shit.
Down the hallway.
Affirm.
Alright, moving.
Move.
Swift, I'm holding on the door.
Is this room
Flash
clear
watch,
past
hallway.
here?
A-firm. Continue movement down the hall with Alpha.
Alpha is on the north side of the building, pushing west.
Roger. Bravo. Once Alpha advances to the stairway, I want you to be on their 6. Ratliff, I'm moving.
I was on your 6, Alpha.
Come up the next door.
Mike's with you out, actually.
Move. Left's clear.
Continue movement.
Yeah,
We
you can
got
push.
bodies behind you. Continue
Bravo's
movement
coming
if you can.
He's coming out. Alright. There's gonna be a stairwell in this
Reset.
room. I'm gonna push to it.
Copy that.
That. I'm gonna push
Roger
to
that. Let's get this stack integrity, and we're gonna push up the stairs, 2nd floor.
Moving.
Move.
Stairway. Left clear. I'm pushing up the stairs.
1-6 is 1-3. 1st floor clear. Pushing up to 2nd floor. Over.
Got doorway
On
right.
your 6 trigger.
Roger, I'm covering the doorway. You cover the stairs.
Got the stairs.
Alright, when I move in, I'm gonna be button hooking right.
Copy that.
Moving.
Move.
Black, go up the stairs.
On you.
Right's clear. Got a doorway on the left.
Black, go. Bravo's got stairs.
Roger.
Keep moving, blue.
Move into 2nd floor. Keep moving. Move.
Alright, I'm gonna button
3's got floor.
moving.
Gonna
God
move left.
Advise to me up that stairway, people will fall them off.
Drake,
Move.
on me.
On your 6, Black.
Moving.
Moving.
Black, you're gonna be
On your
3rd.
entry.
Move Marston.
Alright, Ratliff, I'll take 6.
Right's clear.
Door left.
Copy.
Got an
Only
opening
put-
to the right.
Moving.
Got your 6. Move.
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 Pushing past.
Pushing right.
Push down this long
Right's
hallway.
clear. Hallway
Roger.
right.
On your
Door
6
left.
trigger.
Left.
Going
Six
right.
trigger.
On your
Push to
6.
left.
Going
No,
right.
friendly. Pushing past.
Or we should go through that
Guard.
door on the left.
Danger zone right into
Roger.
the
I'm gonna hold here for now.
Okay.
Somebody on my right side. Simultaneous.
Alpha, you got your team mixed up with
Yeah.
Bravo.
Move.
Move right.
Reconvene with your buddies over to the south. Bravo's got east.
Friendly's in the opposite hall.
Watch across the hallway.
1-3's moving with Alpha.
Friendly's on the other side.
Alpha is at the south side of the building near the staircase.
Stairs.
West side of the building secure.
Copy that. Push up, Alpha.
Alpha, push up the stairway.
Watch danger
Roger, I'm
zone
gonna
high.
set on the
Pushing up.
stairs.
2 set.
Friendly
Black
coming in.
last man.
Get this stack up. Bravo on the stack. We got 6.
I'm gonna be pushing right.
Affirm.
Alpha, begin movement.
I'm gonna push all the way left.
On your 6 trigger.
Roger. Moving.
Move.
Stand up, Graves. There you go.
Right's clear.
Left clear.
So, Mars.
Push all the way
Right behind
down.
you, actually.
Keep
2nd floor's clear. 1-3's pushing up the 3rd floor. Over.
Alpha securing 3rd floor.
Roger that. Alpha, I want you to maintain security on 3rd floor. Bravo, push up the 4th floor. Over.
Alpha, set up security on the 3rd floor.
So I'm copy from you.
Alpha, maintain security on all entrances.
Black, fall back.
Moving out.
Marston
Yes,
Swift,
yes,
watch
alright.
the north end stairway.
Set.
Black, you're with me,
We're
watching
here
the south
for
end
reset.
stairway.
2 set.
Pushing in.
Marsden
six.
and Swift watch the north stairway.
Stairs.
Black, you're with me,
Other
watch the
stairs.
south stairway.
Alright, push up.
Wilco.
On you, Drake.
6
got
trigger.
Stairwells.
Entryway
Stairwells
on
clear.
the right. Moving. Fucking the wall.
Mars, and I'm gonna patch up
Taking,
right behind.
taking
Alright.
point.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Moving,
stuck.
Stay out of
right.
the crouch if you can.
I'm stuck.
That's
Room
good.
clear,
Turn
blue
back
clear.
towards the street. Graves, the other way.
Roof's clear.
Mike, we took a casualty, bottom floor.
Okay, Mike's on.
Roger that. Pop green smoke on rooftop, Bravo.
That's the talking smoke.
He said he's one more flight down.
I believe so, yeah.
Nice smoke out of it.
Excuse me, Lieutenant.
Roger that. Index, let's reconvene at the front. We took one. Alright, overall, good job. Only recommendation I have is on the second floor, we had an option to go left and right. I would recommend Alpha saying, Alpha's going to clear eastern side. Bravo, do you got south? Something like that. That way we don't have team members splitting up and getting isolated from the rest of their team. If we can help it, we need to be keeping at least the teams together. Buddy teams are free to kind of move around within the team to dynamically clear. But I don't, just because you're going to be on different nets, I don't want to see a guy from Bravo in Alpha clearing with them isolated from his team. He's not going to be in proper communication. So, revisiting on the second floor, you guys are on the stairs, and that, you know, that's a lessons learned on my part. As 1-3, I should give better guidance as to where I want the teams to move, and we'll certainly do that in the live fire exercise. So yeah, you know, clear together, but try to keep your teams together. I saw that Alpha broke up 2 left, 2 right, and then we had 6 people on the eastern side and 2 people on the southern side. We'll try to keep at least the distribution within the complex even. Private Black?
I got a comment for that situation. To make it easy on the teams, I think the way it should be done, like in case of Alpha, the most direct threat we had was a door to our left. So we should probably make it so basically the first team that gets in, the most direct threat is the direction the team's going to take.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it would be up to the fire team leader and myself to coordinate that properly, but you know, I want to hear the fire, you know, and we broke down a little bit on communication on the fire team squad comms. I need to hear fire team leaders communicating with each other. Hey, we got left side, holding security, Bravo push up. All right. Bravo notices that Alpha's still clearing a larger section of the building. Bravo chooses and initiates a comm saying, hey, Bravo's going to hold security until Alpha clears the rest of that sector. That way we're not advancing too deep into the building and not having a proper support. All right, so here's the situation. The construction building is populated with approximately a squad-sized enemy force. They have bunkered up inside the building and are maintaining security. We're going to teleport to the stack location, and we're going to proceed clearing the building utilizing the same path that we did on the dry run.
Guns up, gentlemen, for teleport.
Course in. Alpha set. Reach on that northern entrance, over.
Alpha move. Move.
Bravo, push in behind Alpha.
Spare up. Move. Go around right. Move. Go long hallway.
Long hallway on left, west side.
Move. Alpha push all the way down.
This is Mike. Where's our down man?
Alpha Bravo, talk to me now.
Alpha's linked up with Bravo in the middle room.
Alright, coordinate together.
Alpha will secure the west side of the building. Bravo's got east. Alpha's got 1 man down. Northwest side of the center room.
Mike is going to down man.
Alpha's clearing the west hallway.
Copy, Alpha.
Room square.
Yeah.
Coming out. Friendly coming out.
Yep. No.
Doorway.
Oh, yeah, 6.
Alright, breaching right.
One left.
Alright, we're gonna push towards these stairs.
One contact
left.
down.
Left is square. Room left is square.
Stairway right.
Friend is coming out.
Copy.
Moving.
Stairway straight ahead. Friendly's.
Move the stairway.
First floor secure.
Copy, move to second.
Moving upstairs. Watching upstairs, push fast.
Alpha line up behind Bravo.
Move.
I'll go last. Keep pushing.
Who's that down there?
Alright, on your
Who's at the end of the
stairs.
hallway?
That's
Storm.
that's Storm. That's Storm. Continue movement.
Alright, set. Move.
Alpha moving up the stairs to the 6th floor.
Man down. Alpha, we got a man down up here.
Okay, Mike's on.
Alpha will push through.
Set. Moving and going right.
3 set.
Alpha, this is Mike. Where's your down man?
He's on the second floor stairway. Alpha will secure the west side of the second floor.
Right.
Long hallway.
Mike's moving.
Set.
Set.
Move.
Moving, going left.
Moving.
Move.
Stop in
Move,
the hallway.
don't pie.
Move.
Moving, going right.
Push all the way down.
Pushing left.
We got 2.
Alpha's reached the south side stairway. West side of the building, second floor secure.
Bravo status.
This is Bravo. I've got 2 men down at the eastern side of the building, second floor.
Alpha, keep pushing east to clear out the rest of the story. Over.
Alpha copies.
This is Mike. I'll be en route in 1 sec.
Move along
Copy that.
Move on the stairway right here. We're gonna push north.
Bravo advise, Alpha's gonna be clearing to the, from south to north towards your pause.
We are directly northeast of you. We are down to 1 element.
I have eyes on. This is Bravo 2 IC. I'm back up. I'm on position with 2 casualties.
This is Mike. I'm behind you.
Alpha, get back.
Yeah, copy that.
Stairway.
Full security.
Alpha will be on the south side stairway.
Alright, Drake, let's push up to Alpha. This floor secure. Sorry, Graves.
Alright, copy that.
Alpha, this is Bravo 2 IC. Me and my buddy are pushing towards you. Our 2 men are being treated by Mike. Hey, firm.
Go ahead and stay still for me.
Hold on, you guys can watch the second floor. I'm gonna go up with my team.
Did you take the
Alpha will secure the 3rd floor.
Alpha on.
Probably.
2 set.
Trying to get used to this crap.
Move.
Just stay still.
It's all good, man.
I can't be too careful.
Got
You
2
know?
men down.
Bravo team, once you're up, reconvene on the south side stairwell. Over.
Status of that contact.
Right's clear.
Soft copy. I am waiting for
Let's
personnel to
clear
get
this last room before we call the room clear or the floor clear.
Mike, we've got one
Okay,
man
break your
needing
grid.
bandages on the south side stairwell.
Alice on me.
Morphine really bad.
Stairway
I can't see
clear.
anything.
Hold on.
Mike, you hear that?
Affirmative.
Hold on, Sergeant. 1 second.
I'm pushing morphine on this guy.
That's better.
1-3, this is Alpha 3. I see. Be advised, we have 2 casualties on the second floor, south side stairs. Over.
Mike is
Copy,
moving.
Mike's en route.
Reload and get a fresh mag gun. Fresh mag.
1-3, this is Bravo. Be advised, 3rd floor clear. Over.
Copy, 3rd floor clear.
This is Mike. I'm unable to find the casualty. Where? Can you locate?
We've got a 1 man fight out of stairs.
3rd floor stairwell, south side. Over.
Down.
Copy. Mike is in.
This room was called clear or the story.
Alright, I'm gonna bandage. Roger, I'm moving. Moving out of the way.
Right's clear.
Move. Copy. Move. Right's clear.
Fucked.
Bruce square.
Get fucked.
Up, right smoke.
Holding security east.
Roof's clear. I'm in green smoke.
Moving north south.
Copy, building clear. Security on the roof.
Copy that. Building clear. Let's go ahead and get an ACE report on the building, and then we'll index. This is 1-3 actual, taking back over from 1-3 over. Alpha, Bravo, ACE report.
Check your leg.
Bravo, Ace report.
Graves is black
Alpha,
on bandages
how you
and
doing?
is injured.
Nelson is in pain, but I'm good on everything else.
Rigger is green on health. I've got
Right leg.
600 rounds remaining.
Marston, 10 mags,
Yellow
green
on
on
bandages
medical.
over.
Nellis has 8 mags remaining.
24 Mike over.
This is Bravo. Ace report as follows. Green on stand eggs, green on boxes, yellow on bandages, yellow on flashbangs, yellow on frags.
This is 1-3 over. Roger, over.
1-3, this is Alpha.
Go for 1-3.
Issue report is as follows. Green medical. Green on ammunition. Green on equipment.
Roger that, Alpha. Alright, index